Breaking news in Seattle happening right now. Reports of a mass shooting just minutes ago. Police say, quote, multiple people have been shot and the shooter is on the run right now.
There are reports of up to 7 people having been shot. The shooting happened in downtown, 6 blocks from the famous Pike Place Market. We are going to have more information on this as soon as it comes into our newsroom.
Chaos in downtown Seattle when a gunman opens fire, shooting 6 people. This is what we know. 1 person confirmed dead, and right now police are trying to find that shooter. Witnesses say they heard about a dozen or more gunshots around 5 o'clock tonight. 1 person is in critical condition.
One of those victims is as young as 9 years old. The shooter is still on the loose. This happened just 3 blocks from the famous Pike Place Market.
2 men got into an argument, then pulled out guns and started shooting. All of the people who were shot appear to be innocent bystanders. 1 is a 9-year-old boy. It's not clear if police have made any arrests.
Latest on that deadly shooting in downtown Seattle that hurt multiple people.
We have team coverage tonight with several crews live in downtown Seattle. We want to begin with Natalie Swaby. Natalie, walk us through exactly what happened.
Well, right, we are now into the 4th hour of this investigation. It started when it was still light out. 5:01 is when that 911 call did come in. I'm going to step out of the way. We're going to take a closer look at the shooting scene, which you can see this is an area that's been closed for a while. This is near 3rd and Pine. And what we've been able to learn is a total of 8 people were shot after some sort of dispute altercation happened at the McDonald's there on the corner. We know of the 8 people shot, 1 person has died, 7 were hurt, including a 9-year-old. Now, at this point, no arrests have been made, and we are hearing from police that this does not appear to be random, that there were multiple shooters involved, but right now there's no description of those shooters to pass along. Chief Carmen Best did talk a while ago about what they've been able to learn about the shooting so far. Just listen.
What we've been able to determine now is that this was not a random incident. There were multiple people involved. There was a dispute that happened in front of the McDonald's. People pulled out guns, shots rang out, people ran in various directions. And as you know, we had multiple people that were injured. Officers were here quickly. We've been doing emphasis in the area for quite some time now. We were able to quickly arrive to provide life-saving measures to those that we found and located at the scene. Since that time, we've had our homicide unit out here, our crime scene investigations, and our gang unit.
All right, and going back to the time of day, that was right around 5 o'clock, right around the evening commute. So this area, this road would be packed with commuters, also people still at work. So lots of witnesses in the area. And we did talk to one person, Douglas Converse. He talks about what he saw after he heard the gunfire.
It was alarming, and I just saw terror on people's faces. I mean, they were all running in this direction and heading down into the light rail station and into any kind of shelter they could and hiding behind cars.
All right, I'm back out live. I'm just going to show you this area to give you a better sense of where we are. So this is Pine, near 3rd. This is right near the Macy's, right near the Westlake station. You can see the gates are down at this particular Westlake station in the area of Pine and 3rd. And we can tell you that this area is closed off, but 4th Avenue is open. Traffic is moving along that way, but this is going to remain closed. The police chief telling us that it could stay closed overnight, probably opening before the morning commute, but a lot of investigating still to do at this scene. Again, we do know that they believe there was possibly multiple shooters involved. No suspect description, no arrest yet at this point. Back to you.
Natalie Swaby reporting live for us downtown. Natalie, thank you. And as we've mentioned, several people are hurt. Their conditions range from critical to stable.
Let's get King 5 Sebastian Robertson. He's live at Harborview Medical Center with more on how those victims are doing tonight with what we know so far anyway. Sebastian.
Good evening. Let's start with some good news. We know that a 40-year-old man that was grazed by a bullet has been released. He'll be spending the night at home versus in the hospital. 7 victims, all hit by bullets, taken here to the Harborview Medical Center. Harborview is a level 1 trauma center. They say that with standard, normal staffing like any given day, they can deal with a high number of people like you would expect to see in a mass casualty situation like this. We got an update from the Harborview Director of Communications within the last couple of hours. Here's what she had to say about this ongoing situation.
Some of these patients, depending on the level of injury, might even be treated and released, especially the patients that had a grazing type of injury. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And then others will be admitted. It just depends on the depth of the injury and if there's anything that's required. Some people might need to be monitored. Some might need further surgery, and some might not need anything at all and go home.
Now let's look at the patients and their conditions. A 9-year-old boy. A 35-year-old male is satisfactory, 32-year-old male satisfactory, 21-year-old male satisfactory, and a 55-year-old female is critical. She's the one that was rushed into surgery. There's also a 34-year-old male satisfactory and a 49-year-old male who, as I said, was treated and released. So much attention now is on that 9-year-old boy that was shot. He is in for a long night. As so many thoughts and prayers have been coming towards this hospital, his direction, as they hope for a speedy recovery. Again, the injuries here range in age and in severity, and a lot will be telling in the coming hours at Harborview Medical Center. Back to you.
As Sebastian mentioned, they are prepared for these situations, but also what comes after.
Well, unfortunately, we've been through this drill before, and we've had a lot of instance to prepare. I mean, we're the level 1 trauma center. We're 24/7. We have to be ready for any type of situation, and often we're seeing, frankly, a lot of gunshot wound victims coming our way. It's more common. It's sad to see. I've worked here 20 years, and it's sad to see the increase in shootings that are happening and what it does to families, what it does to patients. It's not only the physical, but it's the mental when they leave here.
Well, as we've heard, hundreds, if not thousands of people were downtown tonight as all of this unfolded, right as people were headed home for the day.
King 5's Vanessa Machanya is live for us at 3rd and Pike. You've been there throughout the night, Vanessa, and you spoke with some witnesses.
Jessica, Greg, yes, that's right. 3rd and Pike, right behind me is the McDonald's. You can tell that the crime scene has been a little less active. Still, a lot of police officers here conducting their investigation, but it has started to quiet down a little. But when this shooting happened, it was 5 o'clock. It was right near a transit hub, and I want to show you this video, and you could just kind of get a glimpse of the chaos, the aftermath of that. Now, this is a bus being investigated by police with an apparent bullet hole right in the driver's side window. This was a terrifying scene for a lot of folks who were just going about their business, trying to get home from work. I spoke to one man, Liam, who said he heard gunshots. Take a listen.
We heard one shot go off. We weren't sure if it was a bus running over something. And then all of a sudden just shots rang out, about 10 to 15 shots, one after another, like boom, 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 boom. And immediately after the shots stopped, me and about 2 other people ran back to the area and seen 4 people just laid out on the ground.
Right. But the deal of it is, this is 3rd Avenue. We got a lot of issues. We got a lot of mental health issues. We got a lot of drug issues. There's people selling drugs right down the street. All right. So all of this stuff is why we having this. All right. I don't know why the police can't clean it up. I have no idea. But I know this is unacceptable.
That last man that you heard, his name was Glenn. I talked to him about this situation, and he was just so upset that it got to this level. Now, this area is beginning to be notorious for crime. It doesn't have a great reputation right now. And the fact that something like this boiled over, now we don't know exactly the events leading up to it, but a lot of the people here that I spoke to were putting the pieces together and are just sick of crime in this area and in this city, guys. A lot of upset people and a lot of people in shock that it got to this level.
Yeah, so many people down there at that time. Somebody had to have seen something. Vanessa, thank you. To give you some perspective here, this is an area that's had a long history of violence. Back in 2016, 5 people were shot outside a convenience store in that same area right along 3rd and Pine. And tonight, just an hour and a half before this incident, there was another police shooting, that one at 3rd and Blanchard, which is a few blocks away. And then yesterday at Westlake Center, a man was shot in a stairwell. He died last night. Our coverage continues on air and online. You will find more information on tonight's breaking news on our website, king5.com.
And we return with extended coverage in just a few minutes. You're watching King 5 News.